All right, our next guest here on the program, Rick Folia with AutomationDirect.com. Rick, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mike.
AutomationDirect.com. Tell us what your company does.
Well, the name sort of says it all. Have you ever seen on TV a video of a factory and maybe bottles are going by just whizzing down a conveyor line? They're getting filled and capped and labeled and packaged and all that automated factory stuff, right?
Yep.
Well, Automation Direct sells all that automation, all that factory equipment to the factory so they can do that. The difference is, in the old days, and still to a large extent today, the way people order that equipment is by going to a distributor. And they say, how much do you want? Well, how much do you need? And they negotiate. And there's a 4 to 6 week delivery. And well, in this day of the internet, that just doesn't cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Automation Direct is a factory supplier of all this equipment, but it's just like a little company you may have heard of called Amazon. You go online, drop in your shopping cart, buy now, have it in 2 days, done. So it's Automation Direct. Factory automation, direct to you via the web.
So you're not the manufacturer of all the parts and pieces and everything that you see.
Nope.
But you're kind of, can you say a one-stop shop in a way? Whatever we need, we can kind of go to AutomationDirect.com?
Exactly.
I got you. Now, you're the senior technical marketer. So what does Rick do at the company?
Well, in any company.
Other than come on Business Radio X.
Yeah. Well, in any company, you're going to have your marketing guys that know how to get the word out, and you're going to have your engineers that know how to design the product. Well, someone has to get those two people communicating. I'm actually an engineering background. It's my job to translate the engineering for the marketing guys and the marketing for the engineering guys. I'm the in-between guy.
I gotcha.
I'm an explainer.
Okay. So you help these factories and these people that are producing their widgets or whatever get everything they need for the automation so they can.
My day-to-day job is to produce content that explains what we have to our customers to get them up and running quickly. And they appreciate that.
Which you could argue might be one of the most important jobs with the company.
It's a great way to market stuff. When you help someone understand how to get their job done, you don't have to sell them anything.
Well, something that's right up your alley, that I know you guys are very involved in the STEM outreach program, especially in Forsyth County. Tell us about all about that. I know you're proud of that.
Yeah, Automation Direct is based right here in Cumming. It's about 250 employees roughly. And we're very grateful to the community for accepting us and taking us in. And we like to give back in many, many ways, whether it be Age Well Forsyth or Meals on Wheels or the scouting programs. But one of our big outreach opportunities is the whole STEM thing. And in particular, we're very heavy supporters of these extracurricular robotics, these competition robotics programs that they have. The reason for that is it gets kids so engaged in learning and they don't even know it. I've seen it so many times over and over again where a young student will be sitting in math or science or one of these other things and say, why do I have to learn this stuff? Well, as soon as they start building a robot, that changes to, oh, I need to learn this stuff, and they get all excited and engaged in learning. And the teachers come to me and say, Rick, we got to stop this. So why? Well, they won't go home. They're here before class, during class, after class. They're so excited about learning, and it's just really cool to watch. So Automation Direct just loves being a part of that kind of energy and getting these young kids excited about learning.
So you really place a heavy emphasis on that program then?
For a number of reasons. One, to give back to the community, of course. But if you've ever visited Automation Direct, you'll find out their core values are very centered around being gracious and professional and working together and making things happen. And it turns out that these competition robotics programs that they have emphasize the same values. If you look at the way they're structured, it's not go beat the snot out of your competitor. It's, how can you work with your competitor so you can both achieve greatness? And that's really what Automation Direct's about. So we do appreciate that.
Well, maybe I'm wrong, but these guys that are building the robots and guys and women, men and women that are, the young people today, they're the ones that are going to be running these factories and coming up with great ideas and coming up with the next widget, I guess, and potential clients for you in the future.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's very self-serving if you think about it, right? We're growing our future client base. But more than that, it's interesting. There was a study done a year or two ago, I guess, and I may not have the details exactly right, but hopefully you get the gist of it. They wanted to know what dollars spent in Georgia, how they were impacting the economy of Georgia. So they looked at various things. One of them was athletics, for example. In Georgia, for every dollar we put into the athletic programs in the high schools, do you know what the economic benefit to Georgia is? It's a 20-to-1 ratio. We get a nickel back. They did the exact same study for these after-school extracurricular programs like robotics. And you know what? The answer came up exactly the same, 20-to-1. But in the other direction. For every dollar spent on these programs in Georgia, Georgia gets $20 back. Who wouldn't invest in something like that?
Yes. Real smart. Now, you've been doing it for a while. Have you guys been able to see kind of a tangible result?
Yeah. I've been doing it for a little over a decade now. And the cool thing about that is these programs span elementary school, middle school, high school, even into college. So now we're seeing, since it's been 10 years, the kids that started in elementary school have been through the entire program and are now becoming active members of the community. We have kids that started doing elementary school robotics, and now they've come back to the county and they're teaching future generations engineering in the schools, for example. So yeah, it's been absolutely huge. And of course, if you read the papers, you see all the stuff that's going on within Forsyth County. There's a new STEM academy at Central Forsyth High School where they teach engineering. There's a new high school opening up in 2018. It's focused entirely on career tech type things, one of which is mechatronics, avionics, logistics, all those things. All of this is the outgrowth from the pure energy that's been created by these kinds of programs.
You mentioned your background a little bit, kind of an engineering type background. Were you one of those kids growing up that was into the robots and everything? Did you ever see do you see yourself doing what you're doing today?
I wish I had this stuff when I was a kid. Oh my God, I'm so jealous of these guys. I mean, it's amazing. You see these little elementary school kids and middle school kids and of course high school kids, learning about, mechatronics and gear ratios and pneumatics and programming. And where was this stuff when I was a kid? This is fantastic. Yeah. But, did I take wash machines apart? Sure.
You did. We're talking with Rick with AutomationDirect.com. He's the senior technical marketer for the company. And I love that we're having two companies here on the show, DataScan and now AutomationDirect.com, very involved in the community and giving back. For Automation Direct, do you have a brick and mortar building where you store all the things? I'm getting back to the business side now, where you store everything that people are ordering, or do you order it and get it as it's ordered? As you get the order,
and that would be one.
Or do you keep everything in stock?
That'd be one big difference between us and Amazon. Whereas Amazon, it's all drop ship basically. Automation Direct, no, every bit of it's right here in Cumming. We have an enormous warehouse which is growing by leaps and bounds. More and more automation being built into it. The latest addition we have is a large building right there in Cumming. It's fully automated. I mean, the robots go retrieve all the parts, bring them to the person who packs them in the box. The box goes off, gets automatically wrapped right onto the truck, and out it goes. I mean, one of the problems we have sometimes is a customer will order a part, change their mind, call back, and we'll say, guy, it's already on the truck. Sorry. Because it's so fast and it's so efficient. But yeah, so we bring things in, stock them. A ridiculous in-stock ratio, 99 percentile ratio. It's rare that you call Automation Direct and something is not in stock, ready to ship same day.
And the irony is you have the robots there helping ship the stuff out.
Exactly. The guy in charge of the company teases the logistics guy, says, hey, these elementary school kids are building fancy robots and you have, come on, let's step up the game.
Do you have people, do the students come in and get to see some of this, by the way?
They do. In fact, we just had a whole bunch of students coming a couple of weeks ago. At the end of each season, the students like to come by and say, thank you to Automation Direct for everything we've done for them. And just watching these kids and again, it's not just about the robots, right? They're learning presentation skills, business management skills, financial management skills. They got to manage all these funds that they get and the programs that they get and the business and the travel, the marketing. They're running a small business with these robotics teams. And to see these kids come back and present Automation Direct, all the things they're doing just blows your mind. But again, like you said, we've been doing this for a little over 10 years and the growth has been phenomenal. I mean, my youngest son started the very first team, but we're running 150 teams now in Forsyth County.
Wow.
And let's see, last year we had the world champion out of Forsyth County. This year we had a team win the award that's above world champion. There's one above world champion.
What's that? Universe? What is that?
Well, no, remember, these things aren't just about building robots, right? They're about building proper kids. And so what the Excellence Award, the Chairman's Award, depends on what program you're in, but there's an award that is actually rated higher than winning the competition. And that is that, yeah, you can build robots, but you did it in a gracious way, in a professional way, in a cooperative way. You have outreach into the community. We're getting other people excited about it. You see the big picture.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
That's good stuff. A couple same questions I asked Ed earlier. I assume your clients anywhere in the world.
Anybody that can click a mouse on a website, although Automation Direct is primarily focused on North America and Canada.
Okay, much like DataScan was. Same question as well that I asked Ed. How do you find the new clients, or do they just find you?
Well, again,
well, you're the marketing guy, so I guess you are getting out there to try to find these clients.
We're an internet-based company, so a lot of it's internet based. Of course, my job is I do a lot of YouTube content. I produce videos that get customers excited. Let's face it, where do you go today when you want to learn something? You go to YouTube, right? So they type in YouTube, I want to know how to make a motor go. Well, they see an Automation Direct video on how to do it. Whose product are they going to go buy? Well, the one they just learned how to use, right?
Right.
But we do all the traditional marketing also. So just get the word out as best we can.
As the world continues to get more and more automated, obviously a lot of room for growth. Where do you see AutomationDirect.com in 5 years, 10 years down the road?
The growth trajectory of this company is just phenomenal. The bounds are unlimited. People ask us often, well, what do y'all do there? Well, we build buildings. Listen, we've put up 3 new buildings in the last couple of years, and we have 2 more on the books already. So it's just trying to handle the growth. It's been phenomenal.
You mentioned the space in Cumming. Do you have other brick and mortars throughout, or is this the main place right here?
It's all right down here in downtown Cumming, right behind the Hobby Lobby. People have probably driven by the building and not known what it was. It's got an enormous American flag flying above it. Although, because of the growth and running out of space, we are looking at building a warehouse in North Forsyth, and we also have several properties we're renting down here off of, I think it's down here off McFarland someplace.
So, we might be neighbors.
We might be.
All right, very cool. Rick, for those that would like to find out more, did not know, that you guys were out there and now wants to find out more, I'm going to ask you an obvious question. Where can they find out more about AutomationDirect.com?
Gee, I wonder. Certainly go straight to the AutomationDirect.com website. And if you want to know more about getting involved in some of the STEM programs around the country or the county, drop me a note at Rick Arfolea, RFOLEA at AutomationDirect.com.
Because you'd be happy to talk about the automation process and everything that you guys supply, as well as the wonderful STEM program that you guys have been a big part of.
You bet.
Big reason for the success in your area. Well, thank you for coming by and sharing everything about AutomationDirect.com.
Thanks for having us.
Rick Folea with AutomationDirect.com here on the program. Before we say our goodbyes, I want to remind you that we are broadcasting from the Digital Ignition building. Digital Ignition is the ultimate place for entrepreneurs to work, innovate, learn, establish, and grow their companies. You could be the next DataScan or AutomationDirect.com. Nestled within a 45,000 square foot building is an open floor plan with co-working office space, dedicated desks.